sixth graders, moving on to lesson 2 in our chapter on Earth, Moon, and the Sun. So we're going to be looking at Earth and space today. So first, our My Planet diary is a misconception on the seasons. Misconception. The seasons change because Earth's distance from the sun changes. Fact. Seasons are the result of Earth's tilted axis. Evidence. Earth's distance from the sun does change, but that's not why Earth has seasons. If that were the cause, people in the northern and southern hemispheres would have the same seasons at the same time. Instead, seasons in the northern and southern hemispheres are reversed. As Earth moves around the sun, sometimes the northern hemisphere is tilted toward the sun. At other times, the southern hemisphere is tilted toward the sun. Now note that because that will be on your quiz on Edmodo. I will talk about it again in a little bit, but that they have opposites, seasons will be important to remember. So why are summers generally warmer than winters? During the summer, Earth is tilted toward the sun, bringing more sunlight. Where on Earth is the tilt of the equator least likely to affect seasons? Why? At the equator, because the amount of sun there stays about the same, which is why generally closer to the equator, you have warmer temperatures most of the year. Okay? All right, our 2 key questions today. How does Earth move and what causes seasons? So, Earth moves in space in 2 major ways. This will also be on your assignment. Rotation and revolution. An axis, an imaginary line that passes through a planet's center and its north and south poles, about which the planet rotates. Rotation, the spinning motion of a planet on its axis. Revolution, the movement of an object around another object. Orbit, the path of an object as it revolves around another object in space. Calendar, a system of organizing time that defines the beginning, length, and divisions of a year. Egyptian, one of the first calendars, 365 days long year, 12 months of 30 days with 5 extra days at the end. Roman, borrowed the Egyptians. Earth's orbit takes about 365 and a quarter days. The Romans adjusted by adding 1 day every 4 years, which we know is leap year. So February goes from 28 to 29 days. Leap years help annual events occur the same day each year, such as the beginning of summer. But Gregorian is the one that we go by now. So Roman calendar was off by a little more than 11 minutes per year. Over the centuries, the minutes were added up, and it was determined by the 1500s that spring was 10 days early. Pope Gregory VIII dropped 10 days from 1582 to even it out. He also made minor changes to form the calendar we use today. So it'll also be on your assignment, picking out which calendar is one of the 3 options. So only one of those is listed, but I give you some other options to pick from too. So next, Earth has seasons because its axis is tilted as it revolves around the sun. Solstice, either of the 2 days of the year on which the sun reaches its greatest distance north or south of the equator. Equinox, either of the 2 days of the year on which neither hemisphere is tilted toward or away from the sun. So northern hemisphere versus southern hemisphere, like we talked about, their seasons are opposite. So when it's winter in the northern hemisphere, it's summer in the southern hemisphere. When it's summer in the northern hemisphere, it's winter in the southern hemisphere. Okay? And we're going to go back for just a second. So the 2 solstices, I thought I wrote this down, but I didn't. So the 2 solstices are summer and winter. So you have a winter solstice and a summer solstice. And then we have a spring and fall equinox. I highly recommend writing that down because that will also be on your assignment. Okay? You'll have to pick which 2 seasons have an equinox and which 2 seasons have a solstice. All right? So our vocab. Axis, an imaginary line that passes through a planet's center and its north and south poles, about which the planet rotates. Rotation, the spinning motion of a planet on its axis. Revolution, the movement of an object around another object. Orbit, the path of an object as it revolves around another object in space. Calendar, a system of organizing time that defines the beginning, length, and divisions of a year. Solstice, either of the 2 days of the year on which the sun reaches its greatest distance north or south of the equator. Equinox, either of the 2 days of the year on which neither hemisphere is tilted toward or away from the sun. And your assignment is to complete the Edmodo questions for lesson 2. Like I said, take note of those questions that I told you would be on there. Let me know if there are any questions. Have a good day.